the static keyword. So let's go and understand static keyword. So what is meant by static? So we understood all the access modifier keywords. We know public, where you can apply. Public, you can declare class, you can declare public. That's what nobody is explaining this word, this sentence. Public, you can declare a class, method, variable, constructor as a public. You can declare all these 4 entities public. That nobody is telling. You're missing that statement. That's the first statement, right? When in the blog, I don't know why you're missing that first statement. Very high level you are reading. You're not going very deep word by word. Please understand. Okay. So don't read a namesake. Okay. I don't want that. Initially, you have to understand each and every keyword. That's very important. So initially, if you understand the keywords, and next level is going to be easy. I'm seeing a lot of people are just reading a very high level. Don't read high level, okay? Go in word by word, okay? So if you don't understand, come back and ask me. I'll explain again. So we covered all this. Let's go static keyword. So static means it's a non-access modifier keyword. Static keyword can be used on method, variable, and block. Static keyword you can use also for a class, but that is for inner class, not main class. One class you are creating, you are not going to use. But one class inside another class you are creating, for inner classes, you can declare a class as a static. But mainly, we are going to use method, variable, and block. Block you will declare as a static. That's the static means. Where you can use, I have given. When you can use. So when you can use this static keyword is when some property is common to all objects, to many objects. If it is a common, then declare that common property as a static. Then what will happen? If you declare as a static, it will occupy the memory only one time. It will allocate memory for that thing, for that common property only one time. That will load before execution itself. Once the class is loaded into JVM by class loader, then immediately it will go that static variable and static methods, static members in the class area memory. There is a class area memory or a method area, we call that memory areas. Remember that. So there it will go and store there. And that's what about static keyword. See, this all this keyword, non-access modifier keyword. So it will be used this static keyword with methods, blocks, variables, as well as in the nested classes also. Not top level class. Nested classes, you can use it. Okay. In order to create a static member, you need to proceed with the keyword, precede the keyword for this block or a variable or method, nested classes. If you want to create, just precede variable name before the static keyword, variable line. Method line also you precede with a static keyword. Then nested class also you just before the class keyword, you add a static. This is the block means just a static, and block is nothing but a curly braces, pair of curly braces. That's called block, one block. So that block you can create with the curly brackets. You can create with the curly brackets. That's what the static keyword means. So I have given where to use. Where to use means here, this static keyword is used in these three places mainly, and also on the inner classes or nested classes. When you can use, if some property is common to all objects, then make that property as a static, then it won't occupy more memory. Why more memory it won't occupy? It will allocate memory once. Then same memory you can reuse. So that way static class members are shareable across all instances of the same class. So if you create a static variables, so and that can be shared across all the instances of the same class. So static variables have to be declared at class level and cannot be declared at method level. Method inside you cannot declare static variables. Static variables are declared class level. The class level means above the methods, above the methods, below the class with a static keyword. I am going to give a static variable syntax. So static variable is a class level variable shared among all the instances of the class. So same class inside all places you can use this static variable anywhere in the class. Even outside also you can access if you have a sufficient permissions. Who will give permissions?
Access modifier.
Access modifiers. Excellent. Access modifier keywords will give permissions. Access modifier keywords will give permissions. Okay. So that's the static variables. So and also one copy of static variable will be available for all the objects. One copy of static variable will be available for all the objects. So if one object changes the value of the static variable, it will reflect in other objects also. So that's a main concept. And also in the math class, so we have a math class for performing the mathematical operations. So for example, math.avs, math.power, right? Math.pi. These are all, can you see this? Math is a class. Math is a class in Java. Okay. But I'm accessing a dot. This is the method, right? This is the method, and this is also method. But this is a variable, static final variable. How we are calling all this? Class name dot, say dot operator. Yesterday I explained dot purpose. Any class static members, if you want to call, how we can access? First the class name, then dot, then that static method name or static variable name. Yesterday we used system.out. That's a clear, if you understand that, class name dot static variable, the member of that class. Now these are all members of this math class. So basically static keyword mainly used for the memory management purpose.
Sir, do you have any class like math.h for the mathematical operations?
Math.h.
H.
H we don't have. So you can just see that, you can go here and try it out. All the methods it will show. So you have E, you have pi. So you are saying H.
Yeah.
We don't have anything.
Okay.
Hypot is there, but I don't know what is mean by hypot. Cos, sine, cos and tan, right? Sine, all this.
Trigonometry, yeah.
Yeah. Algebra, right? That's so that kind of, but H we don't have in the math class. These are all java.lang package. This math class is available. Okay. So that's the math class already created by Java. It is available in java.lang package. So that class has all static methods. So how you're accessing that class static method? So class name dot static method. Class name dot static variable. So we can also access static variables without creating object of the class. Static variables are the first ones which are loaded into memory when class is loaded. Class is loaded, then immediately the static variables will go and store in the class area memory. I already given all the memories, right? JVM architecture explanation time. So those it will go and store there. So why? So you're declaring any variable as a static. So what is the reason? So let's take all these examples and it will give you more insights. Suppose you are working in a, say, A company. Okay. Certainly a number of employees are working there also, right? All these employees have a different identity, like a name, age, address, but all share the same company name. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Particular company, all these employees will share the same company name. But which is a common thing here?
Company name.
Company name. So the company name you have to declare as a static. So if you don't declare company name as static, then what will happen? Then all objects take it as an instance variable and allocate some memory for that company name. So for each object, if you want to represent each employee, you want to create a different object. If you create a different object and different, this also acquires memory. So instead of wasting memory, right? If there are n number of objects, then memory space allocated is number of objects multiplied by space allocated by one instance variable. Number of objects multiplied by space allocated by one instance variable. That means company name here. So that's a more, right? It doubles the memory, right? So instead of that, if you make that as a static, it will allocate the memory once, and same memory you can reuse it. So that's why the common thing, anything in your programs, you have to make it as a static. Don't make it as a non-static. So what is the purpose of making it a static? It saves the memory. If it is a common, so represent common things with a static keyword. That's why first example is your company name, you have to make it as a static. If you don't make, what will happen? That you need to understand here. Question yourself, what will happen? It will allocate
Memory.
for each object.
Objects.
Each object. For example, there are many employees. Every employee you want to represent differently. Every employee you have to create object, employee class. So each employee you are creating object means it go and occupy some memory. Right? So that's the problem. Instead of that, for example, if I am creating 10 objects, 10 employees I want to create. 10 times I have to create object for employee class. 10 times memory allocates for company name also. It's a waste of memory, right? If it is a common, why you want to specify in the same each object? So instead of that, what you can do, the common things, you make it static. So that will go and reside in the class area memory. Before execution itself, this will go and store in the class area memory. That's the static variables, how you will declare. So take another one. To illustrate, consider a class that models a car. Okay, car have engines, but no two cars share the same engine, right? So this means that each car has an engine that belongs to So that particular car type, right? So therefore, engine in a car class would be a non-static attribute of the class. Non-static. Non-static means it's not static. So non-static attribute of that car class. So the next what will happen? The brand name of car is shared across all instances of class. Suppose you say, you take, Honda, right? Honda, you have Honda City. And see your brand is carry forward to different brand, different, engines, different things. Different instances of car class, you can share that brand. So brand name should be shared across all car instances. So why you need to do this is, suppose tomorrow, so Chevrolet is bought by Ford, by making the brand name is, so it's a shareable, right, across all instances of even Chevrolet also. So every instance of car can be rebranded to Ford by making a single change. So that's to make it more reusable and also less memory occupation and all this purpose. If something is common, you have to make that as a static. So that will save memory, and also that too, can I make unique things as a static? No, you should not make. Unique things you should not make as a static variables. So only if it is a common, then only make that variable as a static. Otherwise, don't make it. So these all different things are there. Just to go through this, okay? And I don't want to explain that. So what is a static method syntax without parameters? See, access modifier, static, void, method name, parenthesis, curly bracket, method body, curly bracket ends. See, this is the body, method body. Method body inside only will write the logic, calculation part. Your print statements. What are all you can write in the method body? Print related statements, calculations, local variable declaration, method object creation for a class. For a class only we can create object. Everything you can put inside this method body. Local variable declaration, print related statements, calculation part, object creation, everything you can do in the method body. So this is the simple example. See, I'm going to create a multiple methods with this syntax. See how I'm creating that with the above syntax. You need to remember this syntax. I want tomorrow you need to explain static method syntax without parameters. So if I ask you static method syntax without parameters, you have to tell this: access modifier, static, void, method name, parenthesis, and curly bracket, method body, curly bracket ends. See, with this, how many methods I created? So public, class, static demo. This is the class I'm creating. Class is ending here. See, first method, access modifier, private. Private. Static, void, M1. Parenthesis, the curly bracket, method body, and curly bracket ends. See, this method is ending here itself. Started here, ending here. After one method, then I'm starting a next method. See, now access modifier. What is the access modifier here?
Default.
No default.
Yeah.
Default. So no modifier keyword means that's a default, right? So access modifier place, I put a default. Then static keyword as it is, it came. Void, method name is M2, and curly bracket method body. This the, so how can you create a method? Then third one, see that. With this formula only, I'm generating more methods. See that. Access modifier place, I put a protected. Static, because I'm creating a static method. That's why I'm using a static keyword. Then void, I don't want to return anything by this method. That's why I'm using a void keyword. And M3, so curly bracket, method body. The method body starts and ends. So public static void M4 parenthesis, so curly bracket, method body starts and ends. So this is the how you can create 4 methods. So for you, task is create the same class, okay? Create the same class and create all these 4 methods. These methods inside, you just write a one print statement, okay? This methods inside, just write a print statement saying that this is the private method, this is the default method, this is the protected static method, this is the public static method. Just write one print statement in the method body. Write all these 4 methods, okay? Follow this. Don't make mistake. One method inside another method, don't write it. See that word by word. If you're getting a confusion error, see that, okay? How your class is there. So class starts here, class ends here. Then method. First write this syntax. Write this syntax and follow word by word. Then you won't make any mistakes. So this method ends after, then only you will start the next method syntax. Clear? This is the task for you. What do you need to do?
Create a class and
Create static demo class. Right.
It's the first one. Second one, same, create static methods with parameters. I'm going to tell this in the same class. Okay, so that's a task.
Sir, can you please add it within this channel too?
I will add.
Sir,
So-
my name also.
Ila,
Yes, sir.
static method syntax with parameters. Above one is without parameters. This one is
With parameters.
parameters. So what is the parameter syntax? Access modifier, static, void, method,
Parenthesis.
data type
Parameter.
P1,
A1.
comma, data type P2, comma,
P2,
data type
comma,
P3.
data
Next
type
one.
P3.
How many parameters you want to declare? Use this parameter syntax. What is the parameter syntax? First data type, then parameter name. This is what I was keep on asking. Yesterday I asked how to create a method, means after completing all the Java, not able to do in the Selenium. Then why I am giving here syntaxes, madams? If you are strong here, there it will be easier for you, right? But and also you are not practicing many times. That's why you are forgetting, and there you are not able to do the whatever the required thing. So programming language is a very, very, very crucial for automation. Without programming, it's not at all possible. Okay. Any questions? Okay.
No, sir.
Sir, please explain about parameters.
Okay. Parameters. Parameters you will put only in the parentheses. Okay. For the method.
Okay.
So why you need to use for parameters is you can give the values, different values you can give for P, P1 and P2 and P3. Or you are taking only one parameter. Only for this parameter, you can test this logic, whatever you are building here, with a different set of data.
Okay.
If you are not parameterizing, if you hard code, you can test only with one value. Tomorrow, I want to test this method with a different values. Then you make that as a parameterized method. Then when you call this method, you only give the parameter value that I'm going to show you now here. Below it is there, okay?
Okay, sir.
That's a parameterized method, means you are parameterizing, you are not hard coding the values. You're just using some parameter. The parameters you will use only the parenthesis inside. You can give a one parameter, you can give two, you can give three, n number of parameters you can declare. It's up to you. How many you want? You have to decide. You are the one designing the program. If I want to know sum of two integers, how many parameters you need to give?
Two.
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 Any sum of two integers. Yeah.
Two, sir.
If I want to sum of one integer, one float, how many parameters I need to give?
Two, sir.
Two only,
Yeah.
right? But one is the integer, one is a float.
Float.
Parameters two only. If I want to sum of three integers, how many parameters I need to give?
Three.
Three parameters.
Three parameters you have to give. Int p1, comma int p2, comma int p3.
P3.
So the int is the data type. The data types I'm going to give on Monday, but so the data types you should know that we're going to discuss on Monday. So those data type you are going to write here first. Then you give any name. A to Z 26 letters are there. Any one letter use, no problem. Or a meaningful name also you can give, not an issue. Okay? That's the parameters how to give. So something is dynamic. It's going to change every time. You want to give different values every time. When you call this method, every time you want to give a different value for this P1, P2, P3, then you have to make a parameterized method. Okay? This is the one many people doesn't know the meaning of parameterized method, how to parameterize a method. And I was giving a clue yesterday and they are not able to do that. Already they completed the Java course. That's very bad, right? I feel very bad on that. I was keep on telling data type and parameter name, everything I'm telling, but still they are not able to remember this syntax. If you don't create if you don't remember this syntax, how will you create the method? And somebody missing a void, somebody missing what, statica, non-statica, they don't know what type of method they have to create. So you should be clear on the syntaxes. By heart the syntaxes, you should remember them. It doesn't matter. So how many days you are in the automation, you easily remember. I'm giving part by part, right? Access modifier I have given. Right, what are the access modifiers? What permission you want to give for this method? You cannot decide. Can you decide or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Then what is the problem? I don't understand. I told you what is the static means. You're making this method common to all of that class. You want to use this method, all the methods inside, or some other classes also, many places you want to use, then make it as a static. It's not unique, it is a common thing. That's why you're making static. Then why you will make void? This method is not going to return to you anything. Just need to execute for you entire lines of code. That's it. You don't want to return anything from this method. You are not expecting anything from this method. You just need execute the step-by-step code. That's what you want here. That's why you are declaring a void. You have to know this, why we are using void. What is mean by this void? What this guy is doing here? This void keyword is telling, hey, execute, but don't return anything. That's forcefully telling. Void means don't return anything. Just execute all the lines of code. That's it. And this method output you cannot use in another place. That's the meaning of void also. This is the word I am telling. Each keyword you understand, so that it's going to be dead easy coding. See now, access modifier, I'm putting public, static, then void, method name. See, everything is based on this only. I'm designing the methods. How many you will by heart like this? You cannot by heart, right? If you remember one simple syntax, like our a plus b whole square in mathematics, we will learn, right? A square plus b square plus 2ab will do that. This is the one formulas I'm giving here. I'll focus more on these formulas only in the beginning classes. If you are good with these formulas and it's a cakewalk for you, you can write a code along with me also. If you remember all these things. Okay. See, now data type is int. So I'm just executing this formula. I'm creating one real method. So data type is int and parameter I have given a. Any parameter name, it's up to you what name you want to give. Just a name to distinguish other parameter names. Second, see comma, you're putting a comma. Then data type first, float. The parameter name is b, comma, data type. So parameter name. But sir, I declared parameters. What I need to do with this? You use them in the method body. You do calculation on these variables, on these parameters. So or you want to do a plus b plus c or a minus b minus c, what do you want to do? Do that. This is the data. When you call this M5 method in the main method below, you have to call to execute this. When you call this in the main method or some other place, you will give a value, you will give b value, you will give c value. So then you're using this a, b, c in the method body, right? In the calculations, what will happen? Whenever you give the a value, that a value will participate in the calculation. B value will go and participate in that calculation. C value will go and participate in the calculation. Then the data, it will perform the operations. That's a mathematics, right? All mathematics. You want to do sum, you will do between all these three variables, a plus b plus c. If you want to do subtraction, a minus b minus c. If you want to multiplication, a multiplied by b, a multiplied by c, you can do whatever, right? So this is the, if you declare parameters, what you need to do? You must use these parameters with the method body. Is this point clear for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So this is another thing you need to do. Just at least create a parameters. So this is what I'm talking. Create a parameter, same as the methods you create 4. Here we created a 4, right? At least you take one parameter here, one parameter here, one parameter here, one parameter. Just print that in the body. Okay? That's it. You don't need to, how to print that? For example, I want to create a parameterized method. So a method I want to create. Suppose if I create a parameterized method, private, static, so void one. So for example, I want int a. So I just created a one parameterized method, right? So then I'll use, just say a value is, just this put in your readable statement, you always keep in double quotation. Why I am putting in double quotation marks? Can anyone tell me?
It will print as it is, sir.
As it is, yes.
Wrong.
Within the double quote, whatever you mentioned, that will print.
String value.
A collection of characters. A is a character, space is a character, space is a character, V is a character. A group of collection of characters is called string. So if you enclose anything in the double quotes, what is mean by that?
String.
Is a string.
Representation, string value. String value always you will represent in double quotation marks. Then you want to print this parameter value, just plus concatenating string plus the variable name. What is the variable name? Parameter name? A. That's it. Then I want to call this method here. Just call directly you can call. This is a static method. This is a static method. Same category. So you can call directly here. M1. But can I call like this?
No, sir.
No,
We
sir.
give-
We need
have
to
to
pass
give some
parameter
value.
value.
The
Inside
method
parameter.
M1 int in the type. So my first program is not applicable for the arguments. So empty1. This is not empty, right?
Yes.
M1 is not empty. It is having a value. You have to pass the a value.
A
here.
value.
So pass a value. See, now it is clearly right. M1 method. This method name you are calling here. And then this way a value you are passing. You should not write again int there. 5 is integer type. Is this clear for everyone how to call the method?
Yes. Yes.
How to create a parameterized methods? You create like that all private, default, protected, and different things. Different things you create.
Sir, column also string value only.
Where is column?
A value is you put column, right?
This is the string entirely. Anything, madam, in the double quotation is there. That's a string.
Okay, sir.
Anything in the double quotation, remember, it's a string representation. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Anything in the double quotation. See the colon, everything, whatever is there in the double quotation, it doesn't matter what you are putting inside that.
Okay.
That entire thing will be treated as a
String.
string.
Protected.
See, like this. Okay, create all the parameters, print that. So call this M2. How to call the static method in another static method? Directly can call.
Directly call.
Just give 3.4 cap left. That's a floating value representation. M3. So we have to give M3. I'll give
Double quotation.
so string value again you have to value should put always in double quotations. Value always you have to put in double. But how I am calling parameter name here? Directly parameter name I am calling. The why I am using plus operator to concatenate. This is a one string.
Combination.
This is another string. I am concatenating, joining. Concatenation is nothing but a joining both of them. This value and this value I am concatenating. See that? So S value is plus hello, it will print. See that? See 3.4. S value is hello. This is all entire one value is printing. So printing, first printing. Because I used a print statement, that's why first it will print. And this value also joins for this value. And then cursor will go to next slide. First print.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Hmm.
In data type string after we can take C also, sir.
Whatever, madam. That's what I told you.
Okay,
I can put str, I can put what you want. It's
Okay.
just a name. Just a name. You write your name also. Nothing wrong there.
Okay, sir.
Anything. It's up to you. Just a variable name. Variable name is you freely you define your name. Okay. That's it. Any name. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Let's move on. Static variable syntax. Access modifier, static, data type, variable name equal to variable value, semicolon. This is the static variable syntax. Access modifier, you know, static, data type, variable name equal to value. So see access modifier here, I have given default, then static, Data type I have given string. So why I am giving a string capital letter?
Class.
Capital letter here.
Class.
Hmm?
This is a class.
It's a class.
It's a class. Still other people, why are you doubtful? Huh? Were you all doubtful, guys? I told you already, right?
Yes, sir.
First letter, if it is a
Class.
capital, that's a class.
Yes.
So the variable name s equal to, see the value you're enclosing in double quotes, selling. So again, access modifier public, static, data type is a string, college name equal to JNB. Then private, static, data type is int, I equal to 10. So access modifier is a protected, static, data type is a float, and variable name is x, and the assignment operator, this is called assignment operator. What do you call this? Single equal to assignment operator.
Assignment
25.5. What is mean by this assignment operator? So see that single equal to is called assignment operator. Double equal to is called comparison operator. Equal. But what is mean by this? What is mean by this? So please pay attention here. Assigning, you are copying this right side value into left side variable. Who is doing that? Assignment operator.
Assignment operator.
So what is the assignment operator responsibility? The right side value
Left side value to the
Left side
variable.
Left side variable.
variable. Anywhere you are putting a single equal, that's assignment operator. Now 10 will be copied to I. That means I contains a 10 value. Now 25.5 will copy to X.
X.
So X contains 25.5. The same way, public static boolean B2 equal to I double equal to X. What is mean by I double equal to X? What it will do?
Comparison.
Comparison. X, I are comparing. What is the X value?
25.5.
And what is the I value?
10.
10 double equal to 25.5. True or false?
False.
So that way for this output, I am copying into
B2.
B2 variable, that is Boolean data type. So that's all the variables how you can declare. Any questions here?
No questions.
Okay.
No, sir, it's good.
So static blocks. Generally, static blocks in Java are used to initialize the static variables. They are executed only once when the class is loaded, and hence are perfect for the anything you want to execute before your main method. You want to execute something, or you want to initialize your static variables. You declared, but you didn't assign the value for the static variables. You want to initialize them, then you can use a static block. So see, static int I equal to 10, static int j. I didn't assign the value here, right? I didn't assign a value for the j. I assigned, but j I didn't assign. Now see, j I can assign like this. Static, this is the static block. Static curly bracket, this is the static block. So initializing the static variable using static block. J equal to, see, j equal to means what I told you. The right side output, right side output, expression output will be copied to
J.
left side
Left side
variable.
variable.
So what left side variable I declared here? This is a declaration. But here declaration, assignment both are done. But here only declaration, no assignment. Assignment I am doing here. Assignment I am doing with assignment operator. How you can assign the value? This I multiply by 5. I am assigning to j. Now j, what is the value?
50.
50 is stored in the j. 50 is copied. This output is copied into j. Who is doing that? The copying, who is doing?
Assignment operator.
Operator.
Right? So that's the main things you have to practice. All this, go and practice and understand the code. Okay. So that's the static block main purpose. So why we need to make so main method as a static. So this is the common interview question. If you don't make main method as a static, so what will happen? It will lead for extra memory allocation. If you make main method as a static, it saves the memory. Only one time it will be created the memory, and same can be reused n number of times. Why n number of times? See, how many lines of each line main method will be called. When you're calling the main method means one time memory allocates. When you're calling the main method, one more time memory. Like that, if 100 lines are there in the main method, 100 times memory allocates. So this is the extra memory allocation, right? If you make it as a static, what will happen? It will allocate the memory once, and that can be reused for every line, because every line will call main method. Every line will call the main method thread. Every line will call to execute that line. Main method will be called. Main method will go and execute that statement. But while calling every line, if you don't make it as a static, it will lead for extra memory allocation. Every line one memory allocates. Every line one memory allocates. It's a waste of memory. That's why it's a, so this main method is common to each line. That's why they made this main method as a static. So if you make static, what will happen? Memory allocates once, and that will be
Better memory utilization.
better memory utilization, and you can reuse the same. It can be shareable for all these instances. So that's the reason why they made main method as a static. So that's the interview question. Please go and read this, and that will help you really. Okay. So that's all about, we are good with all these program keywords I covered. Okay. So I covered public, class name, and this main method structure, and the system I covered, dot I covered, out I covered, println I covered, print I covered, everything I covered. See, static methods, how to create with parameters, without parameters I covered. Please go and how to call these static methods in the main method. This is how to execute. How to call static methods in main method. So you have to put a comments, double forward slash. Okay. If you don't want to execute that, you put in double forward slash. That means this line won't be considered for execution. Then you won't get any errors. So I'm calling the static methods in another static method. Directly you can call. This is the one. Okay. So that's all about this one. I want you guys, please focus on our blog, this blog. Go and read what is meant by void and understand what is meant by method. This main method I told you already. Main is a built-in method. So the program execution starts from here only. So method naming conventions is a camel case you have to use. Okay. So for one word means all lowercase, more than one word means every first word all lowercase, second word onwards, each word first letter capital letter. That's any method. This is the thumb rules you have to follow. Rule 2, rule 3 you have to follow mandatory. Rule 1, rule 2 you have to follow mandatory, these rules. Okay. See that? Set first name, get first name, get last name. How it is defined, designed. Observe. First word all lowercase. Second word onwards, each word first letter capital. And followed by parentheses. So this is the any method you will write. And all this we covered, and just go through these notes and read multiple times. One time if you read, it's difficult. As Pavani is telling, I'm forgetting sir, all that's a common, don't worry. First time, right? So you will forget. That's okay. And keep reading multiple